Hello and welcome to another Minecraft Snapshot video. Today we are going to be looking at, there it is, Minecraft 15W34A. This is a snapshot for 1.9 and we have got some very big changes. This seems to be where things are really going to start to get a bit different. The first thing I'm going to show you is not the biggest change, but something that's kind of cool. Typically, from now on, the default from when you build maps and right click with them is going to be a scaling of 1.4. If you want to zoom out of the map, as always, you can just put that in there and add your paper to it. And then when we take that away, you will see it goes to 1.8. However, if you want to zoom into your map, you now add shears. And of course, that will snip down the map to 1.4 and so on. It does use a bit of durability on shears, but as you can tell, it's barely anything. But I think that's kind of cool. Logical, makes sense. I can see why that exists. The next thing is quite a big change for map makers in particular, and don't you worry, we will get onto the thing I think you'll probably want to see, and that's the change with command blocks. You'll notice now that there are 2 more command blocks. It's said that there are actually 9 textures in this version of this snapshot, but these are the ones we've got so far, and let me show you what these do. Now, it's worth pointing out at the beginning, for anybody who has already built a map, this won't break anything for you because these will still function the exact same way. If we open one, however, you will see this little button at the bottom, and that says impulse. Now, if you press done on this one, if I put down my redstone block and power it, it will fire. It will do exactly what we'd expect it to do. Now, aside from that, we have this guy here, and this guy is set to repeat, and that, of course, will do exactly what you imagine. Whilst it's powered, it will just keep repeating, which is a very, very, very nice feature. So no more spamming of these blocks or anything like that. That's going to come across very nicely, I think, for map makers. And lastly, we have these guys, which are chain. And again, these will do what you expect. You can probably see as well on top of these, maybe not so much with that guy, but these are actually directional now. So if we pick up a few of these, you'll see if we place them at an angle, they will have an arrow on, and that's because of these chain blocks. So what happens with these? Well, if we start a chain with a normal block and then just add these chain blocks, it will of course go in a chain. You have to power the first block, and you'll see nothing happens here because these blocks aren't powered. So as soon as you give these guys some power, you can indeed send through the chain. And of course, if you want to, you can cut out a few and you can just send a chain, and that will only fire the ones that are powered. It's something very, very cool. Kind of I say minor change, but I think it's going to have a huge impact on a lot of stuff. So yeah, let's get rid of these guys. Let's move on to the thing I think we all want to talk about. If you go into your settings and into options, and then again into video settings, you will find a new button, which is called the attack indicator. You can switch this to crosshair or onto hotbar. I'm going to have it on my crosshair. I will show you the hotbar in just a second. But what you will notice is if we equip a sword, if you watch the crosshair, there's a little sword animation that builds up. Now, this is basically going to affect every time you use your sword. If we have a look, typically a diamond sword is attack +7. You will get your attack +7 every swing. However, if you spam click, you will find you get a very, very, very big decrease in damage. So you'll see there that when we press the button, it will go down to 0 and start charging up again. Now, a hit on a full charge is going to be +7, and now if I spam click, you'll see it doesn't seem to charge. So what that does is gives us extremely reduced damage. Now, if we go and, in fact, I've got something set up for this. If I quickly spawn this villager, now typically these guys have a lot of health, so you will notice if I spam click this guy, well, it doesn't really do us much good, as you'd expect. We're doing very, very, very minimal damage. However, if I let this thing charge, let me spawn another guy. If I let this thing charge, I can kill him in 3 hits, which I think is quite a big difference. You can really see there how much that differs. Now, this is the same for every single item you can attack with. You will see it works with the fists as well, and as well with the axe. Now, the axe and the hoe and all those other things, they do take a bit longer to actually charge up. But of course, it does make for some very interesting PvP things. This is going to be very cool. This is going to mean that you're going to need to time your attacks when you're fighting each other to get the most out of it. And it's actually going to add some skill into PvP, which I think is what people are going to be very excited about. It might take a little bit of getting used to, but this is definitely something cool, and it's definitely something that I'm pretty happy about, I'm going to be honest. So let me change that to hotbar. You'll see just to the right of my hotbar now, we have a sword icon, and that's going to be the same thing, working the exact same way. It's just a personal preference. Now in here, I have got two new guys, and this is the last thing I'm going to show you. I'm going to trap these guys. No, fine. You can go free. They all do the same thing. But this is something I did want to show you. These guys have their arms where they have them for now. However, when they track onto you and go to attack you, they do raise their arms eventually. There you go. So if we can get some good shots on that guy. If we go outside, we're bound to find some more zombies. And there you go. So you'll see that this guy has his arms raised as well. It does work for the baby ones. And if I quickly go to create, he'll put his arms down. Again, a very small feature, but it's kind of nice to see what they're doing. It's cool that these guys are getting a lot of changes in their AI. I'm quite a fan, I'm going to be honest. And I'm quite a fan of this new attack technique thing. And you can see the new animation there as well, as it lifts the sword as well as the axe. But there you go. These are the changes that are coming in 1.9. I, for one, am pretty excited. That's for sure. So yeah, as always, guys, do make sure you go ahead and subscribe if you do want to see some more updates. I will be doing these as they come out. And of course, let me know what you're thinking of these changes in the comments below. And yeah, I'll see you next time.